back from the dead.
Hey guys, Frozen Nexus here, and this is going to be my second tips and tricks video. The first thing I want to show you is more of a build trick. And now, if you see, the shorter your tire base, the better maneuverability your vehicle will have. This is just me holding W and A, and I'm going in a pretty tight-knit circle there. But if you notice, if I add, say, let's make this a 8-wheeled vehicle. All steering wheels as well. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, there we go. Now we're just going to test drive this. Even though they're all steering wheels, they're pretty much all evenly spaced apart except for the ones by the cabin. You will notice the circle is nowhere near as close. So if you're trying to build anything that requires high maneuverability, be that sniper or ramming, then definitely try and keep the shortest wheelbase possible you can. This will definitely help you and your maneuverability. Like I said, it's an extreme help. So keep your tires as close together as possible and don't make your vehicle any longer than it needs to be. You can build it out on the sides as big as you want, but try and keep it as short as possible. The next thing I want to show you is actually something that I kind of tricked me. Look at the medium wheel steering, right? It says tonnage plus 600 kilograms, and then medium wheel regular is tonnage plus 700 grams. Now, this confused me. I was so confused because the mass is the same. So what is the tonnage? What is this? So I had to do some testing, but I figured it out, and I'm going to show it off pretty simply here. Okay, I don't even have a mouse right now, so even if I did have a way of getting my mouse to show up on the screen, I wouldn't be able to do this correctly. But yeah, DxTory does not work showing your mouse with Crossout for whatever reason, or at least I cannot get it to work. So I need you to work with me here. In the bottom right hand corner, you see that statistics menu. Now you see it's sectioned off into 3 groups. You have your structure, energy, and the acceleration and speed. Look at the energy and mass. More specifically, look at the mass. Okay, in there you will see a black dot. I'll try and put it right there. You can probably see it better. And again, I'm so sorry I can't just point this out to you. I'll go back in editing and circle it for you since if some of you are having trouble seeing it. But you see that black dot there, right? Now, if I take this tire, you'll see that it adds weight. It adds 100 kilograms, but it also adds the maximum weight I can exceed. Now, if you don't know what this black bar is, let me go ahead and just do this for you real quick. I will just throw on the heaviest things I can find. So let's throw on a hazardous generator. Let's get some cannons on here. Yeah, let's get some cannons going. Yep, machine guns, sure. Anything that will help, you know, just raise the amount of whatever. I don't know what it's called. Just gets a bunch of weapon radiators on here. I'm just going to go ahead and try and get as high of a weight as possible to show you what happens when you exceed that point. So I'm just going to cut back when I have a vehicle that does so. So yeah, see you in a second. Alright, welcome back. This is the worst build vehicle ever. This looks just retarded. But look at your speed when you are beyond the black bar. Yeah. Just abominable. This is terrible. Like, oh my god. This is god-awful. However, this vehicle does still turn pretty well because of just the way the steering is on it. But yeah, it's a terrible vehicle. Never build anything like this. So that's what I was trying to show you. The more tires you have, so I can go ahead and just throw on 2 more tires right here, like this, and take this for a test drive, and look how much faster it goes already. Now, it's not a ton faster because obviously it still weighs some, but it doesn't completely suck. You know, it's better than what it was. So, wow, just one shot did that. That's cool. But yeah, that is basically what I wanted to show you with the black bar and how that works. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you, this is something I made another video on, but I'm going to summarize it up. And just to let you know, anyone who's interested in this, I'm making a more in-depth version of this, but testing each and every fucking part of the game is taking a while. So here it is. This is pretty simple. You see these fence pieces on the side of my vehicle? Fence pieces are bullet resistant. So look, 11, 11, and then it goes to 20. So, see, it does more damage against the regular hull, but if I shoot the fence pieces, it does less damage. Now, I'm going to show you what it is with autocannons, because it actually works with autocannons as well. So let's get that done. Okay, test drive this. Alright, let's go on. Come on. Sorry, this vehicle is so fucking slow, which is probably gonna extend the length of this video, but autocannons as well. You'll see if I shoot the fence piece, it will do, what is that, 14? Keep shooting, and then it does 18, you know, around 38 sometimes. So, yes, fence pieces will take less bullet damage, and then I will show you what takes less melee damage, and that is pretty much plows and bumpers. I'm not going to show you both. I'm just going to show you the bumpers because, or the plows, because I don't. Again, I made another video about this already, and I'm currently working on an in-depth tutorial of this. But there are what I'm trying to show you is that parts in this game are resistant to certain attacks, and you should be building your vehicle in a balanced fashion with your plows down low. So if wow, I completely missed the plow. That's great. So if someone does ram you from the back, see what happens. Not much. Not much. And that's actually hitting the bumpers. So that shows you that bumpers take a lot less damage too. See, they're only taking 6 damage, but then it just walks through the vehicle the rest of the way. So bumpers and plows are extremely useful against melee, fence pieces against bullets, and so on. You know, each thing it does, well, everything in the game will have its own different defense structure. I'm still working on what does what, and that's why this in-depth video is taking a while. I'd expect to see it in about 5 or 6 more days, but testing every part in the game is not exactly the quickest thing to do. Also, the next thing I want to show you, and I don't know how many people notice this, but I sure hope you do. Just no matter what piece you look at how much it increases your vehicle structure by. What this means is it doesn't increase your doesn't increase the part's health, but generally, and I'm saying generally, any part that has a structure will give your cabin the same amount of extra structure. What I mean is, okay, so this vehicle right now, look at my health, 1086, correct? Okay, good. Now, if I go ahead and remove these 2 barrels, which each increase your vehicle structure by 45, my health is now 996. It has gone down by 90, which is exactly how much it should have gone down according to how much the structure increases. Again, take that part off, goes down another 22. Your base cabin, which I'm using a pickup cabin here, only has a structure of 125. So all alone only has 125 health, but with all the parts, that's how you get 1,000. What I'm trying to show you is that you need to strike a balance between how many parts you're going to put on your vehicle, which kind of structure you're looking for, and use the high structure parts first. Things like fenders, they add 34, the half barrels add a lot, these twin slopes aren't bad, and things like fence pieces as well, because they are bullet resistant and they still increase your vehicle structure. Plows do not increase your vehicle structure though, nor do bumpers. So you gotta kind of strike a balance there. You really gotta figure out which does, like, what parts you want to use, where you want to use them. And just so you know, if you get a part shot off, say your fence gets shot off, but you don't take any cabin damage, you still have full health. You still will have, 974 health if this cabin gets knocked off, or the fence piece gets knocked off, as long as your cabin takes no damage. So your cabin health is not reflected upon the parts that get knocked off, it's reflected upon how much damage it takes on its own. It will have a set amount of health with the parts that are added, and that health will stay all the same. Alright, the next thing is also something I've made a video about, so sorry if I seem like I'm repeating myself, but it's about these reputation earning pieces. These fluorescent lamps, headlight bulbs, headlight sets, hell pipes, they all increase your reputation. And I see people just spamming their vehicles with these, thinking that, okay, this will help me up level quicker, or help me level up quicker. That is not true. In the cabins, it does not say this, but it's true. The common cabins or white cabins have a capped 3% maximum increase reputation gain, meaning it does not matter how many reputation parts you have on here. I could go ahead and throw on 2 hell pipes and a headlight set, which would give me a total of 4% increase, but if I use a common or a white cabin, it is only going to give me a 3% increase. The blue is 6%, so if I use a 10% worth of increasing reputation parts and use a blue cabin, then guess what? You only get 6% because they are capped at 6%. The next thing I want to point out though is fuel barrels. Fuel barrels will gain fuel in games. The fuel will be then deposited into your inventory, not your fuel gauge up here. Again, no mouse, but the green thing to the top right corner that I'm kind of like making flash right now. So yeah, it will not deposit straight into there. It will go into your inventory. Now, the other thing is, if you die or the fuel barrel gets shot off in combat, you will not gain fuel. Meaning, if the fuel barrel survives but your cabin blows up, well then your fuel barrel didn't survive, you get no fuel. If you survive but your fuel barrel gets knocked off, no fuel. Also, if you have 5, 10, 20, doesn't matter how many fuel barrels you have, you'll get the same amount of fuel. You can only get fuel from 1 fuel barrel. However, if you take 6 into the battlefield, 5 of them get destroyed, you still have 1 left, you will still get fuel, but even if all 6 survive, you will still only get the same amount of fuel you would get if only 1 survived. I hope that makes sense. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about, and it's not really a big point, it's more or less, sorry, there it is, this parts condition meter, as well as some of the other interfaces that some of you probably haven't noticed. This is one of the most useful things I found after playing the game. This will tell you what parts are worn out, which ones are good, and which parts even have wear. Because right now, just looking at my vehicle, I can see that most of my vehicle is built of parts that are fine, indestructible parts. Most structure and external structure parts are, but it also is telling me that my hazardous generator is almost broken. So that gives me a heads up that, oh, hey, I need to go in and make myself another hazardous generator. How much is that going to cost? I can even replace it with a heavy generator, but I'm not going to do that because if you look at my storage, I have already one of these broken hazardous generators, so now I'll have 2. Make a third one. Once this third one finally breaks, I will then have a free hazardous generator, pretty much. So if you build 3 generators, and after all of them break, pretty much your 4th one is free, because you can't do anything with your broken parts at the moment anyway. So keep that in mind when you have parts breaking. Sometimes it's better to actually just keep replacing them, and so you get a free one after a bit of a stint. But sometimes maybe it's just better to not make the part again and leave it. The next thing I want to point out is the leaderboard that probably no one pays attention to. If you look at the daily kills, this chart right here, whoever is at the top will get 50 coins, second place 30 coins, and third place 10 coins. This is not hardly anything in the game right now. However, I want to point this out because I have a feeling that as time goes on, these leaderboards will be more and more rewarding. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. You will be able to earn higher amounts of coins. I'm sure they're going to be adding other types of I'm sure they're going to be adding other types of leaderboards as well, like time and objective and things like that. So there will be plenty of objectives for you to try and, pit your skills against other people in the world, and hopefully you can earn something from it. Sorry about that quick cut there, guys. I had something personal I had to go take care of, but back into this, and I know I've said the last time probably like 20 times by now, but this actually is the last tip, and that is how to farm scrap pretty much, and it's simple. Cover your vehicle in radios. Radios are the answer. If you didn't know this, the way scrap generation at the end of matches works is you get 1 scrap for each destructible or durable part you have on your vehicle of common variety, which is the white variety. So if you cover your vehicle in tires and radios and radars, then you will get a lot of scrap at the end of the match. if for each blue you get wires, so you can't really farm wire because blues, you can't really spam blues, they add a lot of power score and whatnot, but you can farm scrap, and farming scrap is not a bad idea. If you have a vehicle that has like 50 out of 55 parts on it, I'd say go ahead and slap 5 radios on there. 5 extra scrap per game will help you out in the long run. Whether or not you choose to sell it is up to you, but if you do sell it, then well, don't worry about it, because you're gonna make your money back. So it's definitely worth it. Definitely cover your vehicle and parts that will generate scrap, because it will help you out in the long run. So that's it for this video. Sorry if it seemed a bit rambly. I'm sure there's some stuff in here that I missed and meant to cover, like I said, but I'll be making several of these tips and tricks videos, and I'm working on the in-depth armor resistance guide. I'm literally procedurally going through every piece of armor or structure, external, internal, etc. in the storage, and just putting it on my vehicle, shooting it with every fucking gun in the game, and testing it out. Oh my god, I forgot. Thank God I realized this. Holy hell, I almost missed like a huge part that could be very helpful to you guys. God, not enough energy. What is draining the energy? That is. Okay, here we are. Okay, a lot of people don't know this. Do you see right here? Do you see where the blue line's leading to? Again, I know you can't see my mouse, but if I click left mouse on the left one, my cannons now fire one at a time. This is one of the biggest improvements you can make to your vehicle. If you're using a sniper vehicle, having the ability to fire one cannon at a time opposed to 2 will help you out enormously. You can still fire them both at the same time just by, hitting both mouse keys at once, just like so, but this gives you the ability to fire one shot downrange, see where it's going, make adjustments, and fire the next shot immediately. By the time that shot lands, next one's ready. By the time that shot lands, the next one's almost ready, etc., etc. God, I cannot believe I almost forgot to add that one. That was the important one I wanted to get to. Wow, okay, now I'm gonna end the video. Hope you learned something. If you did, please hit that like button and that subscribe button, because like I said, I'm going to be working on a lot more tips and tricks videos, and I'm working on an in-depth armor resistance guide that's going to be about 30 minutes long once it's all said and done. So yeah, go ahead and check out my channel. It really means a lot, and your support is great, guys. So hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.